What's up, and good Monday afternoon. Holy moly, what a Monday. We had storms across Oklahoma City earlier, and now we are getting storms across Amarillo. Hey, just give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me okay. Tell me that my mic is working and that it looks good. From your side as well, I'm still at the station or at the Hail Trace offices right now, and we're tracking storms in Amarillo. So as you can see on my screen, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, significant severe thunderstorm warning for Amarillo right now. This storm is warned for baseball size hail. Yeah, we've actually seen an upgrade from what we saw earlier. It was warned for 2 inches earlier. And then we saw a report of 2.5-inch size hail, which is the size of a tennis ball. And now 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So a very significant storm ongoing right now for Amarillo and Bishop Hills. This severe thunderstorm warning goes until 7:45. So I think that the length of time from this severe thunderstorm warning is actually giving a lot of information on how fast this thing is moving. Can you guess? Can you guess how fast it's moving? Not fast at all. 20 miles an hour, heading down to the southeast is the speed on this storm right now. Baseball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now we've got something very interesting going on. Let's clear this little black box off of here. There you go. And as we watch this very, very interesting radar, do you see what I see right here? Storms are going not only from coming into Amarillo from the north, but also from the south as well. A very, very interesting setup. Now, this second severe thunderstorm warning is warned for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I'm interested to see what's going to happen when it runs right into this monster of a storm. Very interested to see. Hang on one second. Communicating with the meteorologist right now. They're about to get an alert out on our app. So if you don't have the app, go over to hailtrace.com, get the app. It's great for severe weather alerts. It's great if you have our subscriptions as well. But I want to get back to the severe thunderstorm warning. I can see a few more people popping on here. I see people from our YouTube channels. I see people from our Facebook. It looks like our audio sounds good. Yeah, I think that's what that means. So as people pop on, I'll give you a little update on what this severe thunderstorm warning is warned for. Now, this is brand new information. The National Weather Service has actually taken this down a notch from baseball size hail now to tennis ball size hail. Oh no, we're losing a 1/4-inch hail here. It's still a massive hailstone is what we're expecting for this storm to come into Amarillo, and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So not only large hailstones, but also really strong wind, okay? Now, we have recently gotten a report. Let's go over here. There you go. Of tennis ball size hail. So we know that this storm is capable of producing tennis ball size hail because we've already seen that happen this evening. Here's what the National Weather Service is saying about this. In Potter County, so the city here is Masterson, and we've gotten hail up to the size of a tennis ball along Highway 287 south of Masterson. So right along the highway. What's on the highway? Cars. Yeah, people have probably gotten hit with this massive hail just, what was this? About 50 minutes ago? Let me see if I can take this back a little bit. I can. It's going to fight me. There you go. So there's the storm that produced tennis ball size hail. It was actually this cell right here. And then that cell continued, that cell actually weakened. And then this monster back here, I'm not quite sure. You guys can't see no, you can't see my mouse. Dang, though, that's disappointing. Oh, well. Anyway, so this cell back here, let's see if I can draw. Oh, here. Aha, there you go. So this is what we're watching now as this tracks down to the south and east and into Amarillo. It's just a monster of a storm. Let's actually go back and let me show you here. Oops. So this was the cell that produced tennis ball size hail. This is the cell that we are watching now. It's going down to the southeast. Let me give you an update for everyone that's joining. I know a few people just popped on. So what we're watching for here is this severe thunderstorm warning used to be warned for baseball size hail. It is now down to tennis ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So a very significant storm that is diving south into Amarillo. Let me get you a brand new updated radar model here because this is old data. Watch this. Watch. Okay. I'm just going to play this through a few times. And then I'm wondering, do you see what I see from this? This is very interesting. You're going to see this on Twitter later. If you follow weather Twitter, you're going to see this. What do you guys see here? I'll show you. Cell number 1 going down to the south. Cell number 2 going up to the north. Are they going to collide? Okay, watch it again. Very, very interesting. Now, our isolated storms, I have two ideas about this. Our isolated storm has now become a little clustered, right? Whenever these storms run into each other, oftentimes what happens is it becomes so messy that hail size goes down very quickly because that storm doesn't have the same structure that it did a few minutes ago whenever it was producing those tennis ball size hailstones. But I do want to give you an update here. Remember, the severe thunderstorm warning is going on until 7:45, so we've still got another 40 minutes. If you were not on here earlier whenever I was talking about what this really means for this storm, what this means is that it's moving very slowly. About 20 miles an hour is the speed of this storm right now. So whatever hail is dropping out of this storm will probably be dropping for quite some time. Let's see what we have. What questions do we have in the chat? We've got a few people jumping on here, giving us some thumbs up. We've got a lot of people watching from YouTube right now, a few people from Facebook, and a few people from X as well. Now, if you're watching from YouTube and if you're watching from Facebook, you can comment in that comment section. I can see your comments on the side of the screen over here, and we can respond to any comments or questions that you have. But we'll continue to talk about this storm as it heads into Amarillo right now. I haven't gotten any, and I'm quite surprised about this, I haven't gotten any other hail reports. Very surprised by that. I would have expected, especially as this comes into a more populated area, I would have expected this to produce a few more reports. All right, let me see. What people are talking about here in our Met chat. And while I do that, what questions do you guys have? We've got some people popping on from Illinois this afternoon. Some people wondering about Austin. Austin, Texas. Is Arizona going to get hit this summer? Great question. Not today. Arizona storms are really, really hard to forecast for, especially climatologically speaking, because it's really seemingly random, right? It's almost like Denver, where Arizona storms would surprise you. What other questions do we have? Austin, you're in the clear right now. You're in the clear for today and tomorrow. You may get some rain. Have you guys seen that video? We have it on our Facebook feed of that lightning strike in Pleasant Hill, South Carolina today. Holy moly. I can see if I can show that here in a few minutes. That was absolutely insane. And for those of you who are popping on right now, I see a few more people jumping onto the live stream. Yeah, we're watching this severe thunderstorm come into Amarillo right now. What you're noticing, do you guys see, these lines, these black lines right here, I'm outlining them in yellow. Do you see those black lines right there? What that means is that it's a significant severe thunderstorm warning, which means potentially very damaging. That's words from the National Weather Service, potentially very damaging hail. And actually, let me get you some other verbiage from the National Weather Service and what they're saying right now. You know, we can look at this storm and they can look at it as well, and we can just get completely different ideas. Now, they have brought it down from tennis ball size hail to 2-inch size hail, so about the size of an egg. Still pretty significant hail, larger than the size of a golf ball. They have said that 2-inch size hail have been reported by trained weather spotters. What they're expecting here for the impact is some tree damage, damage to mobile homes, roofs, outbuildings. People and animals will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, sidings, windows, and vehicles. Now, again, that's verbiage from the National Weather Service. This severe thunderstorm, this storm right here, has actually slowed down a little bit and taken more of an easterly turn. Now it's tracking at about 15 miles an hour. Earlier, we saw 20 miles an hour. And it's just 5 miles north of Amarillo, so just barely to the north of Amarillo. However, I am wondering if they mean more west of Amarillo at this point. We have a brand new hail report here. Brand new hail report. Okay, we are officially getting golf balls from this storm right here. We're officially getting golf balls from this storm. So I'm wondering if what happened is we had this isolated storm about 45 minutes ago. It was basically the only game in town, right? It had all of this room to organize itself. It had all of this room to produce those large hailstones and get really, really organized. Unfortunately, the supercell turned into a very messy cluster very, very fast. And with all of these other storms around it, it turned from tennis ball, baseball size hail to golf ball size hail. So we're seeing those hail sizes go down as the storm moves into Amarillo. Now, that doesn't mean that there can't be pockets of even larger hailstones in there. That's absolutely possible. However, it's just so messy at this point. All of these outflow boundaries right here are kind of getting in the way of each other. And that's really going to help, or that's going to hurt, excuse me, that's going to hurt the hail sizes. However, that doesn't mean that the volume can't still be, you know, really high volume hail. And it also doesn't mean, do you guys see this right here? Do you guys see this line right there and right there? Now that's the outflow boundary from this storm, which will also, it indicates that we've got some really strong wind in this storm. So it could be wind-driven hail. What's our new hail update here? We have a brand new hail report here. Another golf ball hail report here. 1.75 inches, golf ball size hail on the west side of Amarillo. And we'll zoom out to see if there's anything interesting out in Missouri. I've got a few people on here asking about Denver. We've got people asking about Illinois. Brandon's saying Texas gets hail 24/7. It feels like that, right? You know, mainly we've had storms farther up to the north. And hey, speaking of, we've got a little storm up there heading into Bemidji. Not quite sure how to say that. You know, I almost put that on my forecast today. I almost put that city on my forecast, but I was like, I'm not quite sure how to say it, so I'm going to leave it off of the forecast. I should have put it on there. I would have been dead on for a storm today. All right, we've got ping pong ball size hail farther up I-60, reported in Carson County. That's actually in Panhandle, Texas. Yes, there is a city named Panhandle, Texas. Got another golf ball size hail report just outside of the west side of Amarillo. Another golf ball size hail report in Amarillo as well. Vega, Texas. This severe thunderstorm is warned for half-dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds. Did they decrease the wind speeds? No, we are still at 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds coming into Amarillo right now. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's very, very impressive. Okay, we have a good question in the chat here. What about Wichita Falls? Wichita Falls, you do not have anything severe warned right now. Got some rain out there, but nothing severe warned. Now, one heads up for all of you in Oklahoma and Wichita Falls, western side of Oklahoma, you just saw round 1 earlier today. You're going to see round 2 of storms late tonight. So all of this activity that's happening right now out in Amarillo, that could be the very beginnings of what we see early tomorrow morning or late tonight. Let's get your future radar. Wait for it to load. I feel like we need some Jeopardy music. There we go. Future radar. Alrighty, we saw those storms out in Oklahoma City just around your evening commute. We're seeing storms right now pop up in Amarillo. Everything has been just about an hour early. You know, storms were expected to come into Amarillo around 8, 9 tonight. We're seeing them come in right around 7:30. So Amarillo, this is not your only round of storms. We're expecting another round of storms as they move to the east, coming in from the eastern side of New Mexico later on tonight. So we could be talking about another round of storms late tonight. Now, I do think at this point your hail risk goes down. What goes up is going to be your wind risk and your flooding risk into the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow morning. That rain stays kind of on and off in Oklahoma City. We've got rain right now, but we've got even more rain early tomorrow morning. Look at the time right there. 5:30 tomorrow morning, it looks like storms will start back up. So we could be waking up to lightning and thunder out our windows, and it could be a very wet morning commute for a lot of us. So it looks like those showers and storms are going to continue early tomorrow morning into your morning commute. All right, let's go back to your Amarillo radar here. And we're doing this a little bit different than what we normally do. I'm still at work, but I'm the only one here, so I'm not on the green screen right now. Whenever I'm on the green screen, I have a producer, which I'm very grateful for, but it's hard to produce and be on the green screen at the same time, you know? So I'm off of the green screen right now. Do you guys prefer that? Do you prefer like blog style like this, or do you prefer green screen style? Let us know in the comments which one you prefer. Okay, we've got brand new information coming out of Lake Tanglewood. So this is just to the south of Amarillo, and we do have another hail report to give you guys here. Golf ball size hail reported in Randall Canyon. I guess Randall is the county and Canyon is the city. But we've also got golf ball size hail in Amarillo proper, right? So we've still got that large hail in the city itself. Very, very impressive storm right now. But you guys can tell, and it gets a little confusing because it gets really, really close to the radar, which gets very difficult to see what's actually going on in the storm. But you guys can tell the difference, right? Between this very isolated storm that we saw about 30 minutes ago and how that became a just cluster, just a mess of storms within about 15 minutes as this moved down to the southeast and into Amarillo. Then we had this little one coming up from the south moving north. And it looked like for a minute they were about to collide. Instead of a collision, it looks like more of a merge. They're about to merge together. Now this one down to the south is really feeding off of this outflow boundary here. You've got another little storm coming up off of this outflow boundary, little cores in there as well. Moving into Lake Tanglewood right now. This will continue to move down to the south and east. Now we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds and 2-inch size hail. So the National Weather Service has brought that down from what we saw baseball size hail earlier. Now we're at 2-inch size hail. So we brought that down quite a bit. Ooh, brand new information coming out of Panhandle, Texas. Going into Claude, Texas here. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that is warned for, it's warned for ping pong ball size hail. Now, usually we don't get the significant marker on here unless we have significant winds or large hail. I think we go larger than ping pong, but the National Weather Service must have thought maybe we've got some high volume in this. I wonder if they update this warning right here. Let's see what the National Weather Service is saying. Okay, so they've got some more information on the storm. They're saying not only are we expecting golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here, but we also have torrential rainfall occurring with this storm that may lead to flash flooding. Don't drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Now, this brings up another great point that the National Weather Service is making. A lot of this area, and I'm not quite sure about Texas, but I know if you're watching in from Oklahoma, we have a big flood watch going on across the central portion of the state. So, you know, the drill, turn around, don't drown. We're going to have another round of storms, not just now, but also through the overnight hours. So if you're watching from Amarillo right now, this is not your only round of rain. You're going to have another round of rain later on tonight. We've got an update here. Juan saying that you just got a notification of Amarillo golf ball size hail. Yeah, you see that on the west side of the city. There's your golf ball size hail. Got another one. So we've got lots of reports of golf ball size hail. If you go farther down to the south, you've got another report of golf ball size hail just west of I-27 in Canyon City. Does it look like it's going to hit Dallas or East Texas? No, these storms are going to weaken before they get into the central portion of Texas. We've got a long ways to go until we hit Dallas. We are expecting some rain early tomorrow morning in Dallas, but we are not expecting anything to go severe. And I have not looked at models in a little bit, so let me just make sure that I'm still correct on that. Yes. We're not expecting severe storms in Dallas tomorrow. Something would have to really surprise us to get anything severe in Dallas. Yeah, we've got some help in the comments here. The storm is moving to the southeast at about 15 miles an hour. It's a slow mover, I can tell you that. Usually, I'm not really against these slow movers. It gives the storms time to organize, but with so many storms, around, you know, our big monster storm right here, it's really, really hard for them to organize. It's hard for them, you know, they get kind of in each other's ways. Now, this one that's kind of out here on its own, this is going to produce probably larger hailstones and just south of Panhandle, Texas. And then we've also got torrential rain coming down with this storm as well. All righty, any other questions here? We've got storms moving through Amarillo right now. I'll show you the entire radar loop. Take a look at the entire radar loop here. This storm started to the northwest of Amarillo, but then slowly moved into the city itself. It just kind of took a nosedive down there. Now, a cluster of storms produced tennis ball size hail earlier on in the evening. So we had tennis ball size hail. I think that we're a little too far out to see it now. Oh, there you go. Along the highway. So there's your tennis ball size hail report along Highway 287, Masterson City. So the storm had a lot of promise, but as it headed into Amarillo itself, it weakened. And again, you can kind of, part of that reasoning is that all these storms kind of collided with each other. The outflow boundaries collided with each other. You've got torrential rainfall However, the hail seemed to become less of an issue here. We still have some large hail. I mean, look, golf ball size hail is still pretty significant. Golf ball size hail all over the western side of Amarillo here. Got a lot more hail reports coming in now. And I can see everyone talking in the meteorologist chat that we have some pictures of this as well. So we've got pictures coming to the Hail Trace app, if not already on the Hail Trace app. So we've got meteorologists that are tracking storms right now. They're mapping storms as we speak. They're mapping this storm right here. All right, there's your 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. While we wait for more hail reports to come in, I do want to show you a very, very interesting video that we got. Hang on one second. I'll pull it up for you guys. I'm going to hope this works. I'm only working on one screen right now. I usually have 2 screens going. I'm in a little bit of a different setup than I normally am. Take a look at this. Holy moly. All right. Well, this was coming out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina today. The police department there posted it. It looks like something out of a movie. It's just an explosion. Wow. I'm gonna watch that again. Now, thankfully, the police department did say that no one was hurt and the electric company got out and fixed the issues. We're fixing the issues at the time of the posting of this video. Absolutely insane. Alrighty, let's go back to your radar here. I don't have any new storm reports to tell you, but what we did, we wanted to come on to this live and we wanted to tell you that we were expecting up to baseball size hail in this area. What we're thinking here is probably closer to tennis ball size hail, but closer to golf ball size hail, but let me check in with our hail trace maps and just make sure that there's nothing more significant to report. So give me just a minute to do that. And I'm reading some of the comments in the comment section here. Some people saying this storm is not headed to DFW. No, it's too far from DFW. Some people joining from Amarillo, some people joining from Illinois. Yeah, where are you guys watching from? Okay, I have an update here. It looks like this storm will most likely be at least a 3-star hailstorm. I think that our meteorologists are seeing, what exactly this does. Now, our meteorologists do have maps of tennis ball size hail, 2.5 inches in size, that did come into Amarillo proper. And then they're bringing down the hail size after that. But yes, we do have tennis ball size hail for Amarillo proper. As this storm came into the city, it was still producing tennis ball size hail. Holy moly. That is some large hail. Okay, now this storm is being updated as we speak. So our meteorologists are updating this storm right now. They're updating the maps right now as this storm continues to track down to the south. And now through central and out of Amarillo, I would expect probably that core to be just about out of Amarillo on the south side now. Heading into Lake Tanglewood. So it looks like what happened is this southern storm right here has started to fall apart, and this monster storm that went through Amarillo still looks pretty impressive. We've got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning right now. Let's get some info on this severe thunderstorm warning. We are back up. Okay, we are seeing an increase in hail sizes up to baseball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds. So we went from what we expected about 2-inch size hail, egg size hail in Amarillo proper, but we are back up to seeing this storm re-intensify to up to baseball size hail as the storm heads down the southern portion of Amarillo and down to the south into Lake Tanglewood. And then we've got a second storm over here, just to the south of Panhandle, Texas, Claude, Texas, Groom, Texas, all just to the east of Amarillo, warned for golf ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds, and torrential downpour. I'm wondering if there's any flash flood warnings in this area. Let me check. Yes, we do have a flash flood warning for Panhandle, Texas, that goes for the next 2.5 hours. They got about 2 to 3 inches of rain very, very quickly. Now, that rainfall rate is down to about 1 to 2 inches, but flash flooding is expected over the next 2 hours. So make sure that you are taking your precautions. Again, that's in Panhandle, Oklahoma. Very, very significant severe thunderstorm warning moving into Lake Tanglewood. So a very significant severe thunderstorm in Lake Tanglewood. We could see up to baseball size hail here and 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds. Holy moly. Reading some of your questions here. Lewis says, looks like storms are just raining. What storm looks like that is just producing rain? We're absolutely getting some hail from that storm. And then overnight, yeah, we are expecting more rain. Yeah. What flood? So, right? Do that one more time. Wow, really killing it. Okay. Right here in Panhandle, Oklahoma. Excuse me, Panhandle, Texas. That's your flood warning. I can show you. Did the flood, let's see, maybe it's under flash flood. There you go. Right there. Highlighted there in red. That's your flash flood warning. And again, that goes until 10 o'clock tonight for Panhandle and White Deer. I know there's not a ton of people who live out here, but we still want to talk about it. You guys know the drill here. Turn around, don't drown. When in doubt, take another route. I hope these silly sayings get stuck in your head and you will remember them so you don't get stuck in the water. Take that off there. We've got a question. Is there hail? Yes, there is hail. There's hail all over Amarillo, especially on the west side. Okay, let's be serious. Let's talk about where the hail is. The west side of the city, that is where we're seeing the most hail reports. Now, I do think some of the biggest hail fell farther up to the northwest. And then as we saw this storm move down to the southeast, it really started to weaken, disorganize smaller hailstones. However, we still got tons of hailstone reports from Bishop Hills into Amarillo itself. Those hailstone reports include half-dollar size hail, golf ball size hail, lots of golf ball size hail reports here. Got a few more. And half-dollar size hail. We have a few more down to the south on the west side of East Lake Tanglewood, and we've got golf ball size hail down here as well. Is it bad? I guess it depends on your definition of bad, but yeah, I'd say golf ball size hail, torrential rain, and 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds. It's not good. This storm that's coming out of Amarillo right now is warned for tennis ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds for almost 200,000 people. Great conversation in the chat here. And we've got someone saying that 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds are no joke. They could knock over power lines. Absolutely. Well, think about 70-mile-per-hour wind speed, no joke at all. And then you add in hail into that. You don't want large hailstones flying at your window at 70 miles an hour. That is very scary. What a mess over Amarillo right now. We have 1, 2. Oh, come on. 3 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. I'm not the best drawer. I hope you guys are okay with that. 3 severe thunderstorm warnings right now, all 3 of them significant. So do you see those black bars that go across this warning right here? I'm highlighting them right now. These black lines indicate that we have a significant severe thunderstorm warning. And what that means is it's a step above just a classic warning, right? I used to have a graphic for that. So basically what that means is you've got 3 different types of severe thunderstorm warnings. You've got your very classic marginal base severe thunderstorm warning, 58, 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds, quarter size hail. Once we get up to golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds, we go into that considerable or significant severe thunderstorm warning. That means that we could see considerable damage according to the National Weather Service. We also have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, and that's whenever we get up to baseball size hail and 80-mile-per-hour wind speeds. At that point, a destructive warning will trigger the WIA on your phone, so the wireless emergency alert that makes your phone go off like an Amber Alert. We've got 3 different types of severe thunderstorm warnings. We're seeing all 3 going on right now. So if we go back to our radar here and bring you out to Amarillo. So you have that base. Hang on one second. Okay, so you have that base warning over here. Most likely 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds, quarter size hail for the most part. You've got golf ball size hail, so considerable severe thunderstorm warning just along I-40. And then if you go into Amarillo, this was warned, not anymore, but it was warned for baseball size hail, 2.75 inches. And that's whenever we get into that destructive tag. Oh yeah, there you go. You've got 2.5-inch hailstones in Claude, Texas. So that's what we've got right now. I love this. Thank you, Hunter. Yes. Did they forget to tell you to clock out? I know, I've been here for a while. Well, I get so interested in these storms. We talked about storms earlier today, so we went live for the Oklahoma storms. Nothing severe in Oklahoma right now. However, we do have a few flash flood warnings, I think, in effect right now. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, flash flood warnings all across the city. So we have a flash flood warning. So it's highlighted in red. It's hard to see, but I'll kind of point it out to you. From Edmond all the way up to Luther. down county line. So it goes all the way down into Moore, and then includes most of Oklahoma City. Now, why do we have a flash flood warning for such a large area? That's because we saw rain earlier today. We saw lots of rain, very, very loud thunderstorms earlier today, right around the morning commute, and we're expecting more storms later on tonight and into early tomorrow morning. So we've got some questions on here about, I saw it earlier, I can't find it anymore. Oh, there you go. Is it going to rain tomorrow? It depends on where you are, but yeah, most likely. I can pull up the future radar here. Ooh, I'm wondering about this wind report. Okay, what does this say? 60-mile-per-hour wind speeds. Okay, impressive. That's impressive. Ping pong ball size hail. We've got some golf balls in here as well. And $50 size hail, ball size hail, $50 size hail. Still warned for tennis balls along I-40. And then Panhandle, Texas also has a flash flood warning highlighted there in red. That goes until 10 o'clock tonight. Let's go to your future radar. And let's talk about what we're expecting later tonight. Let it load. All right, there we go. Back this up a little bit. What time is it now? It's 8 o'clock. 7:40. All righty. So this model did okay. This model pushed things a little bit later than what actually happened. So this model wanted storms to come into Oklahoma City after the evening commute. It came in before the evening commute. We got storms just to the north of Amarillo. Those storms went right into Amarillo. So this model did okay with these storms. What I do think that it's getting right here, and what I've seen with several models, they're agreeing on that we're going to have more rain later on tonight. So you may get a break for Oklahoma City for a little bit, but then you're going to get more rain across Amarillo. Yeah, it's going to storm overnight tonight. So if you don't like the lightning, if you don't like the thunder, unfortunately, it may keep you up late tonight. Now, I think the severe risk is going to probably go down. We're probably not going to be talking about baseball size hail at midnight tonight. And then we're going to see some widespread showers and storms all the way across Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City. I know some people asked about Texas as well. The central and western portion of Texas will probably get a good portion of the rain tonight. Amarillo, Childress, Lubbock, Wichita Falls, all the way until tomorrow morning. So if you're talking about your morning commute, it's probably a wet one for not only Oklahoma City, Elk City, Wichita Falls, Tulsa, also most likely getting a wet morning commute. I'm not terribly worried about the severe risks at this time, but I do think that that flash flooding risk is going to continue tonight and tomorrow morning. Back to our radar. What other questions do we have? Looks like hail reports slowed down. Yeah. I know you said thank goodness, but I'm wondering if the hail reports slowed down because there's less people who live in this area, or if the hail reports slowed down because there's less hail. You know, you have to think about like a report needs two things. It needs the event to actually happen, right? The hail, the wind, the tornado, but it also needs the person to report it to the National Weather Service, right? So oftentimes you see more reports in big cities. Well, yeah, there's more people there. Alrighty, 2 or 3 more minutes for last minute questions. And then I'm going to hop off of here. We've got this severe thunderstorm warning that's in Amarillo proper that goes until 7:45. I bet the National Weather Service is going to let that expire in about 3 minutes. After that, they may update this warning and cut off the northern edge of it, making it a little bit smaller as the storm continues to track down to the south. This is warned for golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now, golf ball size hail, very impressive. You don't want to be out in that at all. Golf ball size hail plus 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts is absolutely not something you want to be out in. You don't want those you don't want golf balls coming at you 70 miles an hour. Here's a good question. Tornadoes. Most likely, no. We had one area today that we were watching for tornadoes. And let's see what the Storm Prediction Center is saying. They're saying it's probably not going to happen. We were watching Kansas City and central Missouri for the tornado risk today, and they're saying a 5% chance for a severe watch. So most likely wildly low tornado risk. However, that hail risk is very, very impressive in this area. What else? What's this mesoscale discussion look like? So taking you from Amarillo to Childress, Texas, and a 20% chance for a severe thunderstorm watch. So you're probably not going to get a severe thunderstorm watch here. What the National Weather Service or Storm Prediction Center is saying here is a threat for hail and localized severe gusts may spread southeastward through this evening. A couple of longer-lived supercells, that's what we've seen in Amarillo already, have evolved out of vigorous convection near or north of Amarillo over the last 1 to 2 hours. I like that term, vigorous convection. So they're saying that large hail and isolated severe wind gusts will continue to pose a threat in the short term with these cells. So over the next few hours, we could continue to see these large hailstones pop out of these storms that are sitting just to the south of Amarillo right now. So we're talking about this continuing to move to the southeast. Now it's moving pretty slow, so I'm not expecting these storms to go too far. But if they're moving at a whopping 10 miles an hour. Well, I said slow. I didn't expect that slow. All righty. So if they're moving at 10 miles an hour, and we give these storms 3 hours, they move about 30, maybe 40 miles into places like Plainview, Turkey, and Memphis. And I don't see any other questions popping up here. I told you guys I'd stay on until 7:45, and hey, we made it until 7:45. But let me tell you, I have not been home since early this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and get some dinner. I'm going to hop off of here. If anything interesting comes on our radar tonight, especially in a big city, so what we'll be watching for places like Lubbock, Texas. I think it's a really small, low chance to get anything significant in Lubbock, Texas tonight. We'll talk about Oklahoma City as well if anything interesting pops up here, but it really is more of a flood risk than anything. Those are your big cities for the most part. We will also have a live weather forecast tomorrow at noon. So set your alarms, come back to this page tomorrow at noon, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button from wherever you're watching from, and we'll give you your forecast tomorrow as well. We'll talk about the tropics. We'll talk about the potential for a hurricane over the next few days. We'll talk about the hail that we're expecting on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Because I already see a question in here. Is there a hail chance on Thursday? Yeah, we have another chance for hail on Thursday. Not necessarily in Texas, but we'll talk about where exactly tomorrow during our forecast. So thanks for joining us on this Monday evening. I think that I'm going to have pizza for dinner. I'm craving some pizza. So I'm going to go get some dinner, and we'll see you back here for your